Good morning. Happy Sunday. How are we? It is Sunday the 21st of March, and in true rock and roll style, I went to bed at, wait for it, 7:45 p.m. last night. Is that crazy for a Saturday? Anyway, needs to be done with the kids, I think. From time to time, you feel so much better when you do it. Anyway, I did learn a new term not too long ago, actually. Good morning, Shell. This was biphasic sleep. This is the term, and it was something that I was looking at when I was back at Oxford Brookes University, actually doing my postgrad at the time, and I was reading research papers like I used to do so often. Now, I just gaze them when I see something interesting. But it was interesting because what it describes is how sleep is often broken into two stages, and I say that when you have kids, it's more broken into 6, 7, 8 sometimes. Better now, I must say. But anyway, I'm talking about sleep because sleep is so related to your hunger. Okay, if you don't get a good night's sleep, your perception of food and how rewarding it is higher, which means you may not feel as satisfied as you thought you would have having eaten a food. And I get that it's hard to improve your sleep, and of course there's many things you can do, sleep hygiene, and the fact that most people struggle to sleep because they worry that they won't be able to get to sleep, which is obviously quite an interesting chicken and egg kind of thing. But when you see things like, so there's one study and it showed that those who slept 8.5 hours or more lost 3 times the body fat compared to those who slept just 5.5 hours. And that's basically linked to people's habits, hunger, eating. You know, when we're tired and stressed, our prefrontal cortex isn't quite working like as optimally as it should be. To put into perspective, your prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain which develops around 5 to 7 years old. So hence why this allows us to think long term sometimes. And when this is dampened down by tiredness and stress, it's hard to think ahead of the instant gratification that so much food these days, especially processed foods, will give us in today's world. And that's the food environment that we live in, and something that we do have to tackle these days, and it is harder. You throw in things like menopause, perimenopause, then you throw in things like work on top of all of this as well, the food environment, work from home, lockdowns. And yeah, 100% we do have more obstacles than ever. But I'm not going to talk really about sleep today. I'm going to keep it more to things that you could do today even if you were stressed and tired, okay? And I've spoken about sleep quite a lot before, and it is very personal to you. So I find when you give kind of generic advice, it can be quite unhelpful sometimes, but I'll still go over it again. So number 1, something you could change today is eating too quickly. Research shows that chewing more. So if you just do it once today. Just do it once. Chew your food today, and then just count how many times you chew. Morning, Paula. How was your water yesterday? Count how many times you chew. Then just add 10 chews on. Okay? Add 10 chews on and see what you notice. Morning, Joss. If you're coming in, say hi. If you're on replay, give me a replay in the comments. Just see what you notice. So to help you do this, just put your knife and fork down between a bite today. Count how many times you chew. Then do it again and add 10 chews on. And just notice how you feel. Do you notice that you eat really quickly and you'd not really noticed it before? It's a really simple thing you can do even if you are tired. So number 2 is looking at, are you getting too many calories from juices or fizzy drinks or anything like that? We know that they tend to make people actually hungrier, and they're a great way to cut down. Like sugar-free squash is great. Looking at, apart from dairy, so liquid calories tend to be worse for your hunger. Morning, Mary. Tend to have a bad effect on your hunger in terms of they make you hungrier. However, when it comes to dairy, so like a latte or protein shake, something like that, they tend to have the opposite effect. So blood sugar levels better, more full up. Not to mention that this will help the muscle toning recovery period if you are looking to add in exercise to your routine as well. And if you recover better, you feel better. When you feel better, you tend to do the things that you need to do more often. And it's thinking about how these small habits kind of cross over. So number 1 so far, we've got add 10 chews on. Count how many chews you do, put your knife and fork down, and then just add 10 chews on. Just try that once today with your breakfast if you haven't had it yet. Then not drinking juice or liquid calories apart from if it comes from dairy. Give that a try. The third one is eat until 80% full. And this comes from a Japanese saying. Maybe that's why they do so well. Forgive the pronunciation. Hara Hachi Bu. That is eat until you're 80% full. And it is quite subjective. But if you think about it, they have, when I say carbs, if I said something like carbs make you fat, a lot of people will go like, yeah, they do. But then when you think about it, in Japan, they have some of the highest white rice intake in the world, yet they have one of the lowest obesity rates. And it just shows that it's not all about carbs, they're not all about that, but also what we eat with, obviously how much we eat, and are we eating till we're 80% full? Could that be a big thing? So one thing that I would do today is just consider the 50% rule. And what this means, I've just said 50%, 80%. What this means is when you are halfway through your meal today, just ask yourself, or just check yourself, how full am I right now? When you're 50% through it, just kind of take a step back and go, how full am I? I could eat a bit more. Cool. Eat another half of that. So you're now 75% through. Okay, ask yourself again, how full am I now? Do I need any more? Could I save this for later? Am I just eating it because it's there? Ask great questions and you'll get great answers. Sometimes uncomfortable answers. So I want you to try that today. Number 4 is that you're distracted. Maybe you're watching something, working at the desk. We see it right now. Crisps in front of the TV, popcorn in the cinema when we could once go there. Then you look at things like, one of the ladies this week, or over the last few weeks, one of her key changes has been stopping for lunch, going for a walk and actually eating lunch. It might seem like you haven't got time for it, but I noticed this too. If you just take that time, you almost like get back 2 hours of productivity later on. And it is hard to really put that into perspective at times. And I know it's not always possible, but even if you did it on the days where you could. And is there anything you could do, like block out in your diary there? Because we'll always fit the task to the time. There's always something I could be doing, yet I'm not always doing that thing. So, and I need to get better at that too. 100%. I could work all day unless I was really, really conscious about doing the things that I preach. I could really just keep working all day. So, just being honest there. Then the research shows this as well. The more distracted you are, our ability to remember how much we've eaten is lower. So if you're watching a film and someone said, how was your popcorn today? There was one study which was great. They gave people stale popcorn as they went into the cinema. And at the end of it, they gave them a large stale popcorn or a medium fresh popcorn. And they wanted to see just kind of how much people ate. And they both just finished them. They were just all gone. And then when they asked people how your popcorn was, they were a bit like, it was okay, I think. And it was stale. And they didn't really even notice, which is crazy when you think about it. So, lastly, processed versus whole foods. We know that the more processed the food is, generally maybe there's less water in it, which won't fill us up so much. You throw on top of that sugar, fat, that combination, we're going to overeat more. That's what they're designed to do. Processed foods are processed to often make it delicious, overriding natural sensations to feel full up, overriding things that actually provide us with that kind of comfort, aka opening a wrapper, eating on the go is linked with distraction. So you see how processed food kind of links in with this as well. So consider trying to get more of your diet from whole foods. Now there are a few exceptions, things like yogurt, whey protein, of course, olive oils. There's a lot. It depends how you define processed foods, but generally added sugar processed foods, the ones I kind of mean, are going to be more palatable, if you like, and easier to overeat. They're going to override your natural hunger signals, okay? So just trying to be wary of them. And when you have them, not that you can't have them, but just know that, right, these aren't going to make me full up necessarily. Once you pop, you can't stop. Just be aware that, right, these won't make me fill up. I'll want more. Does that mean I'm actually hungry, or am I hungry for nutrition? Because these foods often lead us to malnutrition, but over consumption. And that's essentially the obesity. Because often people with obesity often actually have malnutrition. Not always, but it's linked in certain nutrients we may be deficient in. Whether that's linked to absorption or whether that's linked to diet does depend on the individual, of course. Some people have great, healthy diets, but the issue is something else, whether that's exercise, whether that's snacking, whether that's nighttime eating. And that's something that we can go into another day. So let me know in the comments what you're going to apply from this. I want you to pick just one thing. And these are things that, like I said, you don't have to go shopping for, you don't have to change your life for. You can literally do at breakfast now. Put your knife and fork down, add 10 chews. Don't watch TV whilst having your breakfast today. Great stuff, Paula. What one are you going to do? Let me know which one you're going to do today. Let me know which one. The easiest one for me, I mean, it depends on you, doesn't it? But it's putting your knife and fork down. I always get like an aha moment. And when I do it, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I eat so fast. So fast. And the kids help with that sometimes because they might start doing something and I get distracted. Then I go, I'm not actually hungry anymore. Like, otherwise, if they would have just been sat there, I'd have probably gone, oh, you know, yeah, I'm a bit hungry. I'll finish your dinner. Whereas they're like in the other room, let's do this. So cool. I come back in and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not hungry anymore. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, even me, and I should be doing this perfectly. You know, it's not true. Awareness, like food, we are built to eat, like survive. So we've got to be aware of this and know that what's going to help us feel more fuller, like getting that protein in, the hydration in, the basics, get the basics right, chew more. Okay, I hope that helps. We've got some exciting news coming with opening back up Devizes, Marlborough, as well as to go alongside outside sessions and to go alongside our live workouts from home as well, to all get added into the Kickstart program, which we are opening up again soon. So any questions on that? If you do want more information about that, send me a message, but let me know in the meantime which one you're going to do today. Great stuff, Paula. Awesome. Have a lovely Sunday and I will see you soon. Take care.